guys, it's Megan. So today I'm a little bit nervous to do this video because I've already filmed it once before, but I didn't feel like my point got across the way that I wanted it to. So this is going to be an overview of my financial goals for 2016. And if you've been following me for a while, you know that in 2015 I got my first full-time job out of college, and so I've been able to really do more with finances than I was able to do when I was just working a retail job. So I really learned a lot through 2015 as far as finances go. I became a lot more financially independent, and I feel so much more powerful when it comes to my money and where it goes and what I do with it. But in 2016, I want to do even better because I know I have a lot of things that I can improve on. So I made a list, of course. If you know me, you know that I made a list of all the goals that I want to focus on throughout 2016 and then, of course, in the future. So these are things that I believe will help me with my ultimate goal, which is to focus on saving. The year of 2016 for me will be a year of pretty much saving as much as possible. So I am really excited about it. I have got a lot of my spending habits better than they were before. Of course, they're not 100% where I want them to be, but I've definitely improved a lot over 2015, believe it or not, and I'm really proud of how far I've come. So I can't wait to see what 2016 brings for my success with my finances, and I think that it's super exciting to be interested in finances because that's something I never really thought about or cared about. I thought it was a great thing to have money, but I spent it pretty much as soon as I got it, and I'm really trying to break those habits that I've had for most of my life. So it's harder for me to do than it might be for other people that were never really into spending, that were better at saving. But for me, this is really a daily struggle for me to talk myself out of spending as opposed to doing what I believe is right and saving the money. So I have been inspired a lot by a blog, and it is Mr. Money Mustache, which, first of all, that's the best blog name ever. And he writes his blog from the perspective of early retirement. He and his wife retired when they were in their 30s, which is extremely admirable and amazing, and I've never heard of anything like that. But I do take what he says with a grain of salt because that isn't my personal goal. My goal is to pay off all my student loans, and I do have a timeline of when I want them to be paid off, and I'm really hoping to meet or exceed that goal and pay them off sooner than I have in my head. So Mr. Money Mustache has really inspired me and given me a lot to think about through his different blog posts. And I don't do every single thing that he says, and I'm not going to live extremely frugally, but I really have gotten a lot out of his blog, and it's given me a lot to think about. So if you're on this same journey of trying to spend less and save more, or just live a more minimal life, I really think you get a lot out of Mr. Money Mustache, because even if you're like older than 30 or you're already retired or anything, no matter what life point you're in, I think you can get a lot out of his experience and just apply it to your own life. And that's what I want with this video. I'm not telling any of you guys what to do with your money. I'm just explaining what I have for myself, what goals I have for myself. And I update you guys every few months in my budget updates and let you know how it's going and what other things I've learned. And it's just a way to share my experience because I don't know any other people my age. I'm 23, and I don't really talk about money with my friends because none of them are really into it. So I think that this is a really fun way to share my interest in finances and budgeting. And I've learned so much from you guys with your comments, and I just really appreciate it. So I'm not like a financial mastermind or anything. This is just what I'm doing, and maybe you guys will get some inspiration from my goals. So I'm just going to dive into it, and I have quite a few goals and hopes for this year. So Like I said, my number one goal for this year is to save, and my number one savings goal is for my student loans. So in the past, like last month, I guess, I really increased my monthly student loan payment, and I'm extremely proud of that, and I can't wait to see that amount dwindle down as I pay it off even faster. And I do have other savings with my short term, I have long term, and an emergency fund. So those are all in addition to my student loans, and just seeing those bank accounts grow is super, super amazing, and it's way more amazing than having stuff pile up. And that's my other focus this year, is to not want stuff. I will spend my money as I know that I will. Hopefully I won't spend as much as I have in the past, but I know that I will spend it, but I don't want to have as much stuff piled up all around. I only have a finite amount of space. I live in my parents' house, so I only have my room to have my stuff, and I can't have as much stuff as I do now and add more on top of it. So I'm really trying to train myself not to buy stuff as often, or even want to buy stuff. Like, I don't really want to continue this shopping habit that I have pretty much always had since I was a kid. So I have a question that I want to ask myself every time that I feel like I want to buy something, and that is, do you need it or do you want it? And I think that once I realized that that was the question I needed to ask myself, it has really stopped me so many times from buying something. And you guys know I'm so into makeup and beauty products, but a lot of them are just wants. I don't need more eyeshadow or more lipstick or more face wash or pretty much anything beauty related. I do not need any more of it. I have plenty that'll probably last me months, if not years. So my idea with asking myself this question, I have started to practice it because I wanted to see if it actually worked. And I do think that it is, because last night I was on Nordstrom because I got some Nordstrom gift cards for Christmas, and I was putting things in my cart. I do this all the time, just put stuff in my cart and then go to my cart and see what I actually really need, which is pretty much nothing. So when I was taking stuff out of my cart, I was like, I don't need any of this. And it was just a great feeling, yet a weird feeling, because I never really was like that before, where I could really easily talk myself out of purchasing stuff. And that was a huge victory to me, even though it was with a gift card, so technically it was free. It's still adding to the massive amounts of things that I already have, and I don't want to be surrounded by stuff. And if you guys watched a few years ago, Pink So Foxy did a series called Less Stuff, Less Stress, and that was really the tipping point for me to start all of my Project Use It Ups and really being aware of how much that I had. And that was, I think, in 2013 or something like that. And that little phrase, less stuff, less stress, I think is so amazing. It's straight to the point, and it really makes you think about, if you had less things, if you lived a more minimal life with less material objects all around you, you would definitely be less stressed. So I think that is another phrase that's definitely going to be floating around in my mind over the next year and in the future, because it really gets to the heart of it. And if I want less stuff, I have to buy less. So those are my two main goals: saving and not having as much stuff. And I realized this seems like the most simple thing ever, but the only way to save more is to spend less. And when I realized that, it was like a light bulb moment, and it just really, really struck me as I can save so much more. I already save way more than half of my paycheck towards all my savings goals, but I can save even more if I just spent less every month. And that really, really motivates me, because like I said, I don't want to have my student loans forever. I don't want them looming over my head for years and years and years. and I just want to focus and throw so much money, as much money as I can towards them, while also saving for a new car and moving out and other things that I need to save for. But my student loans are definitely something that I want to tackle and pay off as fast as possible, because I do have quite a bit, and they aren't something that will just go away overnight if I don't really focus on it. So I am trying really hard to, whenever I want to buy something, ask myself, do I need it or do I want it? And then think about, okay, yeah, this is only $20, but I could put that $20 towards my student loans or towards a new car. And thinking about the bigger picture has also really helped me from spending as much as I have before. So I think that this has really helped me by thinking about my big goals, and the only way to like motivate yourself towards your big goals is to have them. So if you think about it, if you're just by yourself single like I am, or if you have a family and you have a partner, sit down with them or just think about it yourself and think about your big goals, your savings goals, your life goals, and think about every single time you're going to buy something or spend your money, is that helping or detracting from your big goals? Because all this stuff that's around me and that I have is so great and I love it all, but thinking about how I could have put that money towards something way more important and way better, it makes me kind of sick to my stomach, honestly, and I don't want to feel that way anymore. I don't want to feel bad about the things that I own, but I also don't want to feel like I could have paid things off faster or been free from my student loans or had a nicer car or whatever if I wouldn't have bought those eyeshadow palettes or whatever. So it's really interesting that once you figure out what your goals are, I at least could really picture how every little decision that I made would either make or break those ultimate goals. So maybe that will help you as well. Okay, so a few things that I also think are really going to help me is not going shopping just to shop. And I think a lot of people do this. You're bored, you don't have anything else to do. Okay, let's go to Target, let's go to Marshalls and TJ Maxx. Those are my downfall. Let's go to the mall, let's go here, there, whatever. I really want to stop doing that, and I know it's not going to completely stop because I do like doing it with my mom or my friends, and it's fun to go and shop with them, but it's easier to save money by not going out shopping and not seeing things that you weren't originally anticipating on purchasing. And I am trying to really only shop, and this is also online, which online shopping has been a huge struggle for me ever since I was able to shop online. Once I had my own debit card, it was like the gates of hell opened and I just bought everything. So it has been crazy to try to wean myself off of online shopping, and it can be done. It really, really can be. And I have spent so much less money by not just browsing on Nordstrom or on Sephora or seeing what's new. Going to the what's new page, oh my god, like I cannot do that anymore. It is just dangerous for me to do that. So shopping just to shop, I am really trying to cut back on that. It's not going to completely go away, but I know that Marshalls and TJ Maxx are a really big like struggle for me to go into and not buy anything. I always love to browse around there, and there's always so many deals, and sales and deals are really what get me. That is my biggest downfall when it comes to shopping. If I see something that I've wanted for a while and it's on sale, it's almost impossible for me not to buy it. So the only way that I can really avoid spending a lot of money on like beauty products or like whatever, pretty much it's beauty products is my biggest problem, is not to seek out things that I don't need. So only to go shopping when I know that I need something to replenish something, or if I've really, really thought about a product that I want and then ultimately decide that I do want to get it. Like, I don't want to never shop again. That is not my goal, but I want to be a lot more judicious with what I purchase, and I have become that way a lot more over 2015 than I was in the past, but I know that I can do a lot better. So only going shopping when I know that there is a certain thing or certain items that I want to purchase and go out shopping then. And my other big tip is not to know about sales and deals and new products, and there is so much information in the internet that it is hard to shelter yourself from that. And especially on YouTube, on the beauty community, or whatever like type of videos or information you like to seek out online, you're always hearing about the latest and the greatest, and that will always lead you to wanting those things and to wanting to upgrade and get new things and get that new computer or that new cell phone or the new eyeshadow palette or those new liquid lipsticks. The internet is just so powerful and has so much information and is always up to date and always has the newest things, and Instagram is scary to go onto because you're always seeing the latest things, and there's always so much marketing and ads. Like, even when people just talk about their own opinion, it's like they're an ad as well. I find myself feeling like that sometimes when I'm recommending products. I'm like, I sound like an ad even though I'm not, but just everyone talking about so many products and new things all the time, obviously it's going to make you want things that you do not have yet. So what I've really done is unsubscribed from company emails. I have unfollowed so many people on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. I have unsubscribed from people. I try not to watch hauls. I never go on Temptalia. I never go on Nouveau Cheap, even though those blogs are really incredible for information, but I am really trying not to know what is new and what is out there, and I don't want to be tempted by the latest and greatest, even if it is something that I would really like to purchase. I already have probably something extremely comparable to what is the brand new thing that I don't need that in my life. I don't need that extra thing cluttering up my counter. I don't need to spend $20 or more on it. It's just not knowing makes the biggest difference. And Chloe texted me yesterday and was like, did you hear about this new thing and that new thing? And I was like, no, I haven't heard of that at all. And it was like, then I couldn't talk to her about it, which was kind of crappy. But at the same time, I was like, I'm glad I didn't know, because then I would probably want one more thing that I don't actually need. So like avoiding information, blocking yourself off from knowing about new things, that has really helped me with like not wanting as much stuff. This is something that I learned from Mr. Money Mustache that I thought was really poignant and important for me to hear. So he was talking about how luxury goods are an addiction, or having a luxury lifestyle is an addiction. And if you always expect to have the nicest things and the nicest vacation, the nicest house, the nicest car, the nicest makeup, if you expect luxury at every turn, you are addicted. You have an addiction to those luxury things, and I can sense that I have a little bit of that. So I'm really trying to remove that expectation and desire for luxury everything. It's so much harder to not buy expensive things now that I have money. Like I said, I have my first full-time job. I'm making way more money than I ever was before with my previous jobs, and it's hard to see that money that I have and not want to spend it on something really nice. And I already have so many nice things, and I have definitely grown accustomed to having nice things, getting nice things, and treating myself to things a lot. And I really don't see a huge problem with once in a while getting something nice for yourself or treating yourself or even someone else. It's always nice to give someone a luxury treat. But if you make it a habit, like I definitely have, it adds up very quickly, and it is creating an addiction inside of me that I always expect really high quality things that are pretty much always way more expensive than an alternative product. So I'm trying to cut back on my luxury intake, but I since I'm not shopping as much anyway, that has really helped because before I was buying so much and a lot of it was luxury. So it added up extremely quickly, and now that I'm shopping a lot less, even if I do buy luxury things here and there, it's not going to be as much, as expensive, as many things. So I definitely do still have a luxury interest, and I like nice things and expensive things, but I am trying to be a little bit smarter about how often I buy those things and if they are worth it more than a like comparable product. I've really thought about that a lot more when I've been using things up, and when I'm getting close to being done with a more expensive product, I am now really trying to ask myself, is it worth $20, $30, $50 more than this other product that I think is really good, but it's way less expensive? And sometimes I found that the less expensive things are even better than the really expensive things. So I have tried to be a lot more aware and to always be questioning myself and questioning my purchases, and that has really, really helped me over the past few months. I also want to shop my stash regularly, and when I think of shop my stash, I think of just beauty products, but I also want to shop everything that I own. I want to go through my books, my DVDs, my clothes, my jewelry. I get into habits where I just use the newest thing that I have, I use it and really enjoy it, but then I never really think about it again or go back to it because I'm always getting new stuff. So since I'm trying not to bring in as much products this year or as much stuff this year, I want to continuously every quarter go through all of my possessions that I have, go through them, declutter them, and also shop what I already have and rediscover things that I really, really loved but I forgot about. So I think that will really fill the shopping desire that I have, because so much of my stuff, I literally forget that I have it. So discovering it again is like getting something brand new, but it's something I already have, already spent money on, and it's something I already know that I like. Okay, another huge thing that I am so excited about for 2016 is that I will be eligible for my 401k through my work. So at the beginning of April, I will be eligible because that's a year after I got my job, and I am so excited. I think about this all the time, and I know a lot of you have asked me if I am doing that or what the status of that is, and I'm definitely doing it once I'm eligible. I just haven't been yet. So I've been asking my parents a ton of questions, and I'm just so excited about putting money towards my retirement that my company is going to match. So I don't really know a lot about it now because I haven't experienced it myself, but definitely when I am eligible and I'm starting to do it, I'll talk more about it with you guys and just let you know how it's going, because this is a really big deal for me. I think for anyone that is excited about saving money, you definitely are excited when you can get a free money match from your work. So I just can't wait, and I also really want to learn more about investments just like separately from my 401k. I have a lot of long-term savings that I'm saving for like a house eventually and like big things down the road, like a long time from now. So I want to learn more about the stock market and trial and error stocks and investing in things and savings bonds or whatever. Like, I really don't know anything about investing. I've tried to learn more through Mr. Money Mustache and other money blogs, but it's kind of boring to me, to be honest, so I get really bored reading it, and my dad watches the stocks all the time, but it's just not something I'm really interested in yet. But I know that if I push myself to learn about it more, I think that it will get more interesting, and once I actually have money in the stock market and I have like a stake in companies, I think it'll be a lot more exciting. So in 2016, I definitely want to do a lot more research on stocks and investing, and I'm just really excited about doing something completely different with my money than I have done before. So that is something I'm really, really excited about for 2016 to bring. And my last thing is to spend my money on trips and experiences, not stuff. So like I said, I have my huge savings goals. That's my #1 thing, but also not to bring in as much material objects and stuff and clutter, and I just don't want as many things as I guess I used to. So what I want to put my money towards this year and in the future are more experiences. I love to go see concerts and plays and musicals. I love to go on vacations, even if they're just like a little mini trip. And I just think it's so much more worthwhile to spend my money on things that I will have memories out of rather than stuff, since I have so much already that I can enjoy. If I don't bring in more, like tons and tons more, I already have things that I really love. So why not enjoy those, but also go on different adventures and do different things where I can make memories with the people that I really love. So that is what I really want to do this year with my money. I don't want to have as many hauls. I don't want to have so much stuff come in all the time. And my dad yesterday was like, "Megan, is something wrong? We haven't had any package deliveries in a while." And I was like, "No, Dad, I'm trying not to buy as much," because seriously, I was getting a package at least every other day, if not every day. And it was fun to see things and to open them, but I'm trying not to desire that anymore. I'm trying to really teach myself to want other things with my money and not just material objects. So I really can't wait to like plan things this year and go to different concerts and go on trips with my friends and my family, and even by myself maybe. That would be something different that I've never done before. So I'm just really excited to see what 2016 brings. I am extremely motivated for my financial goals this year, and I know that a lot of you have been looking forward to hearing my thoughts on that for this year. So please let me know your financial goals in the comments below for the coming year, or if you have any advice or tips on what you have done in the past, or if you just want to share your experiences in the comments below, because I know not everyone has a way or a like group of people, like a supportive family or friends that you can talk about it with. Money is a touchy subject, and I know sometimes it's hard to bring it up. So if you wanted to talk about it, leave us a comment in the comments down below and we can have a nice discussion about money, and no one should tell anyone else what to do with their money. This is just my personal goals and my little tips that I have learned and things that I want to try, and I'm definitely not telling anyone what to do with their money. And yeah, so I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me and listening to my goals for this year. Like I said, I'm so excited, and I just can't wait to see what 2016 brings for all of us. So I hope you all are having a fantastic start to your year, and I will see you guys really soon. Bye!